Thank you for listening to the Good Neighbor Podcast, West Denver. Here's a quick message from our sponsor, Local Works Wheat Ridge, provided by its Executive Director, Paige Piper.
Local Works is a nonprofit organization whose mission is to make Wheat Ridge a more vibrant and sustainable place to live and work. Our mission and action is programming that provides neighborhood revitalization and small business support, keeping and growing the businesses we know and love in Wheat Ridge. In simpler form, we provide connection. Connection to business, connection to community.
This is the Good Neighbor Podcast, the place where local businesses and neighbors come together. Here's your host, Meg Smith.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the latest episode of the Good Neighbor Podcast, West Denver. Today, I'm here with Kerry Vargo of Mindful Nutrition for Life. Hi, Kerry. How are you?
Hello. I'm very well. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, well, we're excited to share you with our community. So tell us a little bit more about Mindful Nutrition for Life.
Yeah, so Mindful Nutrition for Life is a holistic nutrition practice, integrating the whole body. So, of course, diet, nutrition is a huge element, but also lifestyles. So that includes things such as sleep, stress management, movement, toxins, incorporating the whole body. And also I couple that with objective data and testing and what I like to call brain balance, because again, it's that whole body. So sure, if all systems are running within the body, if the brain is not balanced, then it's kind of secondary, right? So I put all that together in a customized wellness protocol.
Oh, that's fantastic. Yeah. So taking into account all of the things and the lifestyle behaviors and really helping folks get on the right track.
Yeah,
that's
so
awesome.
They're living their life optimally.
Excellent. And how did you get into this role?
Oh my gosh, diet and lifestyle has always been a huge thing for me. I don't know if athlete would be the correct word, but I've always done athletic endeavors, as well as I coached for a long time at the high school level and junior track. So obviously nutrition was always an important factor. And then after I went through my schooling, a family member was having struggles with mental health and addiction. So I really took an interest on nutrition and mental health and addiction.
Yeah. Well, and it definitely plays a part in our, our vibe, right? Our ability to stay happy. I mean, what is it? 90% of the serotonin is produced in your gut. Like if you're not able to eat, then that can lead to depression and anxiety and all the things that
you got it. And gut, your health starts in your gut. So if that's not healthy, then and functioning, then it trickles over to into the brain.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, and then you're probably self-medicating, right? That's what leads to addiction. And
exactly.
Yeah. Well, that's very good work that you're doing. I learned all of that just from some nutrition issues. I have celiac, so just sorting that out for a while.
Well, and our health is everything, right? Yeah. And we take it for granted until, like anything in life, if it's not, things aren't working or you're not feeling well, then you're like, oh shoot. But truly food is medicine.
It is. And there's one thing. So this was interesting to me after I'd gone through the whole journey of, celiac and just getting off gluten and cleaning things up. My body was pretty happy, but then I was a new mom and my menstrual cycle came back and I had a lot of discomfort with the cycle, just the aches and pains. And I ended up with a fellow nutritionist and she was saying, it's probably a nutrient deficiency. And it never occurred to me, even after all that learning, that just a nutrient deficiency could lead to pain and inflammation because your body doesn't have what it needs to go through the process, in that case, menstruation. And so anyway, it was interesting. And it ended up being like yucca or something.
Oh, really? Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, because we're cellular beings, and all systems in our bodies need those nutrients to function. And one little thing can set a cascade of other symptoms and issues, right?
Yeah. and just not giving your body the tools, to get through whatever it is.
Right. And it's hard in our modern world with our diet and lifestyle, or that their lack of, and things that we think is food, which it's really not, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
yeah, a lot of processed junk out there. And that's honestly, I consider celiac kind of a blessing, because I can't eat all of these.
Yeah, and your body doesn't know. Our bodies weren't designed to process that stuff anyways, So then that creates those issues for sure.
It just it takes all of that off the table, and I'm not even concerned about it,
And you feel better, so therefore you're motivated
100%.
to,
so it just
absolutely.
It essentially commands a whole food diet, which is what we're anyway. So
exactly. We need to get back to that. That's for sure, because we live in a world that truly is the most unhealthiest we've ever been. As far as chronic disease and illness, and
keeps getting higher, sadly too.
Yeah, it does. But I think we're on a trend where people are slowly understanding that, for sure.
Yeah, I think so. There's a lot more awareness and a lot more options and access to, local food. Like, I just was at an awards breakfast this morning for Go Farm. Do you know Go Farm?
Yes.
And they do the food shares from local, local farmers. And so what's nice is, anyone can access those shares, and they're not very expensive. And so, it provides that connection to the slow food network, and easy access to it. So anyway, I thought that was a pretty neat breakfast.
Well, I think it's all about education. I view a lot of what I do is just educating people, and eventually, if they hear it enough and have the resources and the access, like local farmers and whatnot, that and then they start, like yourself, you start eating better and doing things different, and you start feeling better, and then you've got the knowledge, then you've got the power to make the change.
And then it's hard to go back. Once you
don't want to,
and you feel good, like no problem.
Right. It's a win-win.
Yes. So why do you think folks choose to work with you specifically in the space of nutrition coaching and support?
Yeah. Well, I think I've got a unique approach in that I customize a wellness protocol based on where the individual's at. But I start with, and it's interesting, we're talking about gut, because your health truly starts in your gut. So I start with gut testing and healing. So it's based off objective data. It's that test, don't guess. So the individuals, through the various testings that I give them, they have we get objective data. So we know exactly where to start, where the healing needs to begin, coupled with removing foods that are inflammatory. So that's kind of my first step, and that's unique because we definitely have objective data as where to start and where to work. And then I couple that with what is amino acid therapy, going back to that brain balance. So that whole mind body. So figuring out, because again, our brain is our thoughts, our behaviors, our reactions. So getting that brain balance, coupling that with the diet and lifestyle analysis, and then just putting that all together with a customized healing protocol with all that data, based on what their goals and their symptoms and their needs are. And, so there'll be dietary changes, supplemental changes, lifestyle changes, all based on everything that we've pulled together with what their goals are. And, I also, I specialize in optimizing wellness. So someone like yourself, comes to me and has had chronic issues unresolved and has tried various things and are kind of like at wit's end. So I really enjoy working with that aspect, but I also work closely with the mental health realm of things. I like to call it mental fitness, because that's very tied to our lifestyle, to our diet, and then again, back to balancing those neurotransmitters. And then there's also that piece that I work with individuals that are in the phase of addiction recovery, because their bodies are obviously very nutrient deprived, but then with that goes along the brain aspect of it, and preventing like just having successful recovery, relapse prevention, if you will, just
Yeah.
because your brain and body are functioning better, you're thinking better, you're making better, clearer choices. And I look at that as a three-legged stool, and I'm kind of like the biochemical piece of it, where then they would work with a therapist. And then the other leg of the stool, I like to just call the spiritual leg, whatever that is to somebody and to a person. But you need all those three pieces to, again, kind of come full circle.
Yeah. Yeah. You've got to support every, aspect
Yeah.
of the person.
Yeah.
And I love that.
Yeah.
And so do you have a team that you work with if they need to find the other two legs of the stool?
Yeah, so I have therapists and people that, we refer back and forth if a therapist, is thinking this individual is wanting, the more nutrition piece. So yeah, I definitely have a network of partners that collaborate with it. Because again, we're all just one piece of it. There's not just, this is the magic pill and nutrition is it. It's huge, but it's, it takes, I guess it takes a team, right?
Yes, definitely. Yeah. Because then you want people that are very specialized, in the different areas of support that you need. So
exactly.
That's wonderful. I'm glad that you have that team in place for folks that need it.
Yeah.
So tell us, do you have anything seasonal, any, news or specials or things that you want to communicate right now about your practice?
I think the biggest thing that I would share is I have an upcoming workshop that I'm doing in conjunction with two other people, talking about that partnership and, the three-legged piece of it is the workshop I am doing is I have a portion where I'm talking about gut health. And then the other speaker is talking about, she's a chef, so she's talking about simplified meal planning. And then the other individual is a psychotherapist, and she's talking about our relationship with food. And so that is going to be on June 9th from 10:30 to noon out at the Hampton Branch Library off of Hampton and Girard. So I think I've discovered that just getting out in the community and back to that educational piece is how we get the word out and how, it's just valuable.
Excellent. Yeah, well, that's great. So hopefully I'll try to put a link. Well, it'll be on your website, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. So people can get to it when they're listening to this by looking at your information on the website. And go ahead and mention that website name right now.
Yeah. So it's mindfulnutritionforlife.com.
Perfect. Excellent. And then how else do you get involved in the community? I know you're, out there doing the education piece and, really trying to just get people in touch with this information. But what else are you up to?
Yeah, so I think, along those lines with my practice, definitely just doing the workshop and educating as much as I can. Kind of on a same realm, but different. I love community involvement, giving back to the community in the sense of I'm very much an outdoors person. So I like to get involved with the community and helping sustainable trail systems and building trails and maintaining trails. So
Nice.
That's kind of a community thing that I like to get involved with.
Excellent. Well, thank you for doing that because I like to go on trails.
And that's what I realized one day. I'm like, oh my gosh, girl, you spend so much time out on these trails. You need to, and finding someplace where you can volunteer that you're truly involved in and passionate about. So I discovered that, and I like to be outside and I like to get dirty and get, my hands in the dirt. So it's fun. And you don't realize how much is involved in trail building and maintenance until you do it. And it's like, they don't just appear. They're not just down. Yeah.
I was feeling that awareness grow in me just when you mentioned that you're involved in trail maintenance, because I was like, I guess there's a lot to it, that you don't.
It's, you'll never look at a trail again when you've been in the trenches and doing it. So it's super cool.
Yeah. Well, thank you. I appreciate you.
Yeah.
And then what are you doing for fun when you're not volunteering or educating?
Oh gosh, I truly a Colorado girl. I love the outdoors and I love the seasons. So snowboard in the winter time, in the summertime, I love to mountain bike and camp and hike. I love to read. Yeah, just anything that is outdoors. Time, obviously, with friends and family is always of great value. Most of the time when I'm doing those things outdoors, it's with friends or family.
Good. Well, that's fantastic because that is definitely good for the soul.
Right? Yeah.
And then how should folks get in touch with you? We talked about the website, mindfulnutritionforlife.com. Do you have social channels you want to share? Anything?
Yeah, so you can connect with me on Instagram or Facebook, and it's Mindful Nutrition for Life, as well as LinkedIn. The best thing I would recommend is to go to my website and click on the different places, either a discovery call or a consultation call, but offer a free 30-minute consultation. So you can, hop on and we can just, discover, just whatever it is that's issues, symptoms that you might be having, goals, that sort of thing, and figure out if it's a good fit for a nutrition holistic approach to whatever your goals may be.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for spending some time with me today. I really appreciate it.
It's been fun. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you for listening to the Good Neighbor Podcast. To nominate your favorite local businesses to be featured on the show, go to gnpwestdenver.com. That's gnpwestdenver.com or call 720-295-9588.